What is up, everybody? JG603, owner and operator of TSW Wrestling, back for another big time power rankings. Let's get right into it today. Oh, we have a shakeup and then some. I mean, really, with this new format, nothing but shakeups right now. Of course, as you can see right up the gate, a little goodbye to some of these folks. Goodbye, Tony. Oh, tough week for him, losing that Tony title. Craigie dropping out, a little inactivity, but we'll be going for the hardcore title this week. So kind of an honorable mention, ironically enough, as well. Of course, Charade's tough loss. Other guy getting bounced. Up and Adam gets bounced. Animal gets bounced. Hectic week of rankings here, guys. Honorable mentions as well, though. We do see LBJ right there. Of course, him and Mr. Benjamin both will be involved in some cruiserweight qualifiers in the upcoming week. Don't think I said that right, but we're just gonna roll with the punches here today. We got, of course, Bama there, as well as she has a mystery tag partner sometime in the next few weeks to really challenge the queens and just see how that plays out. But let's get on to these regular rankings. In at number 30, we have Rowdy Tommy. Excellent. Of course, 5 eliminations in the Rumble. Fantastic showing. A little challenge for the hardcore title this week alongside Craigie and, of course, the winner from last week, Kapnerk. So very excited to see how that works out for Rowdy, unranked previously. Bunch of unranked guys here. We got Chef picking up that big trios victory, part of the congregation there. Of course, we'll touch on a couple more of these congregation guys in a bit here. Unranked there, and unranked, big debut in singles action. Undefeated right now, of course, outside the Rumble. We got Savart looking really strong in that matchup with the aforementioned Animal. Talked about Fenn, of course, congregation, big win there. Looking to go for the trios titles at Mania as we currently speak, so we'll see how things work out for the congregation group there. Pardon me. Close down the game audio. Of course, you don't need to hear the clicking of the menus and all that good stuff. Moving right along, big pairing here. We got 26. Oh no, we're gonna flip-flop these bad boys right there right away. Yeah, Roy McCracken does have a bit of history in TSW, but of course, I think there's a lot of losses. But Young undefeated and jumping into the 25 spot. So back 5 and 6, all unranked previously. So really a big shake up in the back half of these rankings here today. But really liked what I saw from Young and Roy. Interested to see how they continue to battle it out here with the Apocalypse, the B-Cot side of things. Though again, some question here regarding Swain and Chris and Chico and how that's all going to play out, but certainly we'll get some answers on that in the near future. Coming in now to 24, didn't see him earlier, gotta think he's going to get a big bump here, and from 28 up to 24, we're talking the Girthquake Rocks. Really good showing so far, couple losses, but some really dominant showings, including a good one in the Rumble. Eliminated your boy in that thing, so got an eye on Rocks going forward. Someone who really tumbled this week, unfairly, frankly. And with all the champions and contenderships and all this stuff, it's going to be a really funky week of rankings here. But we got Steph drop back down to the 23 spot. Of course, Blue Eyed Witch will be challenging for Huggies, looking to be a 5-time women's champion at 603 Mania. Not sure the stipulation, but you can surely assume that will be a colossal matchup, to say the least. Here at 22, we got Swanee from 23, and DJ gonna hop up. Actually, DJ's gonna stay pat here at the 21 spot. Of course, these guys are number one contenders for the tag titles as currently constituted. We'll be facing the Founding Fathers in the near future. Not sure that's gonna happen pre-Mania or at Mania, and we're gonna have some double duty situations. We'll figure that out as we get a little bit closer to the show of shows itself. We got some tag team action once again as Miss JG and Jen here at the 20 and 19 spots. Falling back one spot. They did retain this week. Good showing, but man, we are in a spot right now where everybody's rising, falling in this TSW rankings, some unfairly, including this one. Joker, back-to-back tag team losses, loses the Rumble despite being the Iron Man in that matchup, but don't you worry. There has been some major discourse, and then the fan support was swelling behind Joker. And Raw's been a little high and mighty about this situation. So we're going to confirm right here, right now, Joker will be facing Raw Dog for an opportunity to be added to the main event of 603 Mania. I know it might not be super popular, especially with some of the folks in that match, as you just went from a 25% chance to a 20% chance. And you know, when some of these guys, the hot streaks, the wins, the losses, I mean, we're getting into some Steiner math territory when we figure out how that matchup's gonna look. But Joker, he has really done a great job of grabbing the momentum by the horns here, and I think we absolutely have to get him an opportunity to be involved at 603 Mania, ladies and gentlemen. So you heard it here first. Joker versus Raw. Raw wins, Joker tumbles down the card, and that would be bad news. But if Joker can pull off the upset, get some revenge on the man who turned on him this last week, Joker will be challenging for the TSW Heavyweight Championship at the Showcase of the Immortals. Speaking of the legends here in TSW, rising 7 spots, 603, baby. You love to see it. Big win over Luch this week. Hate that my promo got a little bit yeeted. Thanks, B, we'll say, not even the full name. It's like Joe Hendry. If I say the name, maybe I'll get copyright stricken. Oh, God, no. But JG, of course, is going to be added to Mania. We're not sure how that match is going to shake out yet. We have confirmed there will be a ladder involved. We assume at the moment Clap or Con, but we'll see how things shake out in the future. We know LB's in a qualifying match, Means in qualifying. So we're looking at least a 4, possibly 5-man matchup, 6, 8 potential. So there's going to be a lot of chaos these next few weeks in that cruiserweight division. Going from the little guys to the Big Daddy-O himself, we're talking big-time TS2. Sweet. Of course, former heavyweight champion, 3-division champion as well, holding the BMI and the Universal Championship. But unfortunately, all these title reigns, oh, how they've been cut short. Tumbling up and down the card, but big win over King Ched, backstage brawl, and we'll talk about Ched in a few here. Frankly, Ched should probably be a little bit deeper down the rankings right now. But much respect for his history in TSW, but big time, great position here going forward. Of course, will be a part of that main event of 603 Mania to become a 2-time heavyweight champion, as a lot of these guys in that matchup will be trying to do so. Here at 15, probably should have been here sooner, to be honest with you. We got DT2. DT2, of course, has been technically a quarter of the trios champions, has been defending those titles. But with Kapnerk, of course, getting a big win into the hardcore division once again this week, you got to think DT2 is going to have to step back up, potentially, depending on how things shake out there for Cap. So got to show some love to DT2 here, and of course, going to follow it up with DT and with Kopak as well, all kind of bundled together. Now, we're not going to have Cap there. Did get a big win this week, but talked about it, maybe should have slid more. We got King Ched tumbling back to 12 now. Feels like a lifetime ago. This man was like, what, 63 days as heavyweight champion, something insane like that. Absolutely unreal run by the King. But sometimes all great things must come to that, and as the case for the run of Thick Ched right now, the King himself tumbling, falling, but with 603 Mania drawing near, and some possible rumors regarding the location of the show, maybe potentially benefiting our King. Very interested to see how the future holds, or what the future holds for King Ched and Kapnerk. We talked about him. There he is in at the 11th spot here. Of course, one part of the trios champions, multiple-time hardcore, former cruiserweight champion. This guy is absolutely electric. One of the most stacked resumes really in TSW. Possibly walking out a 3-time hardcore champion, maybe challenging Boxy for the best hardcore champion title, but can't get ahead of ourselves here. Fatal 4-way this week. Big matchup for Kapnerk. We'll see how that plays out for him as we get into our top 10. We got Brandon 2K holding on by an absolute thread right now in that top 10. Of course, former BMI champion. Some serious controversy involving Dargon and the Dargantics right now. Not quite sure what happened this past week. Dargon, said he was off to go support Pat, and next thing you know, he's in the arena attacking Brandon. Not sure if quick visit to Pat, didn't visit at all. So gonna see how this whole story plays out going forward. But right now, as it looks like, we're gonna see Dargon and Brandon at 603 Mania, unless we see some big storyline beats before then. So really intrigued to see how this story continues to progress. Talk about a story that I've interested to see how it progressed, and honestly, I did not expect it to go this way, to say the least. We've got Khan here. 1 week reign as the Cruiserweight champion. Hate to see that. Drops the title back to the former champion, the Clap Daddy, but Khan will certainly have a rematch in the very near future. We'll have a chance to walk into 603 Mania as a 2-time Cruiserweight champion. By the way, Swanee, the only other man, of course, besides Clap, to hold that Cruiserweight title twice before. Now, talk about controversy. We talk about Dargon and the Dargantics. This dastardly Dargon. What else can you say? Touched on him. The Dargantics, him versus Brando. Fantastic storyline blossoming before our very eyes. Very curious to see how this plays out as we get closer to 603 Mania. Again, talk about potential locations. Could that benefit these folks? We're going to find out very soon. But Brandon wants a piece of Dargon, and I got to think he's going to try to get his hands on him this week one way or another. We've got Huggies coming in here. Women's champion. Again, we know she can defend against Steph at Mania. A little bit of a holding pattern, kind of managerial role right now, following back. But we are talking the only person to defeat Steph on 2 different occasions for the World Heavyweight Championship, or the Women's Heavyweight Championship. So that is a huge feather in the cap of Huggies. Big matches coming in that women's division. We've got Phineas and Herb, big riser, tag team defense successful. Of course, he's a former hardcore champion. Finn, interested to see where he ends up slotting into the 603 Mania card. We talked about potential the tag titles against the Birds being at that show, maybe sooner. Finn kind of the odd man out right now, the main event picture. Interested to see how Finn gets folded in here, as 603 Mania is right around the corner, about a month away here, folks. Now the top 5. Talk about the main event of 603 Mania. We talk about the Rumble winner. We talk about Raw Dog going from 3 back here to 5. Not a great spot, but you gotta think about the fact, plain and simple. Lost the tag titles, lost them again. Did win the Rumble in between there, so that's of course why he's gonna be so highly ranked right now. But back-to-back tag losses, not exactly the best. And we can, of course, we heard earlier, we will have Raw versus Joker in the very near future. We'll see how that plays out for both those individuals. Now, biggest rise of the week from 16 to 4. We've got the Clap Daddy. Very unexpected, winning that title back this week. Of course, Tiger Jet attacked backstage by a mystery hooded man, but didn't quite work out. It worked out and he got the win longer, but Khan did have backup. Of course, the other Raging Cajun in TSW, Casio, able to step in there, take Khan's side in that matchup, though it didn't quite go the way expected. A little bit of spotlight for Cash. Been long overdue, so like what I saw out of our guy there. But big rematch coming when we're talking Clap and Khan. Not sure if that's going to be this week or next, but we can guarantee that's a huge rematch here in TSW, especially when you consider the possibility of what that does to shape 603 Mania as well. Worth mentioning, Clap, if he retains or doesn't defend, I guess, on Thursday, he will be the longest reigning Cruiserweight champion, combined reigns, in TSW history. Now the top 3, it's a good one. We got Boxy here jumping 1 spot from 4 to the 3 spot. Boxy, of course, great defense, will be the longest reigning Dargantics Universal Champion, I do believe, once things wrap back around to Thursday Throwdown. Boxy, open challenges, not sure what's next for Mania. Was attacked by the Goon, whoever this is, after the attack, after the match laid out. The Goon laid out CJ and Boxy, so not sure if this, we know some connection to Adam, not sure the full situation here, but this is one we got to keep our eyes on. We got to figure out what's coming next. Boxy has done some people dirty here in TSW, so not exactly surprised that this has kind of come back around to bite Boxy on the butt here, but we touch on the top 2. To be honest with you, there's no reason to change them. Roldy's gonna stick tight here at the 2 spot, and there we go. Of course, we'll see Landmark as the number 1. Roldy, though, great defense of the hardcore title against trades inside a steel cage. He's been on a hot streak, defending a fatal 4-way triple threat. Steel cage, and now gonna be in another fatal 4-way. And I tell you what, as short as this reign has been, if Roldy can win again, we're considering the conversation of like second, third best already in this division's history, because man, has he looked dominant right now since debuting undefeated. We're not going to count the Rumble as a loss. Undefeated is Roldy, but it's right there for you. Landmark, as dominant as it gets, 1/2 the tag team champions, reigning heavyweight champion, 1/4 of the main event of 603 Mania is currently constituted. And you can't deny greatness right now. If you step up to this man, you might just be serving hard time. Well, I appreciate y'all, guys. Y'all been the best. Y'all been too sweet. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, notification, building, activate all that good stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Woo. Appreciate you. Bye. Make sure you get that Rogue Energy, code AG603.